So I got into camp late last night and ended up just setting up at a campsite basically right beside the trail, but it was a pre-existing campsite. Next, I'm going to show you where I had dinner. Okay, so yesterday when I arrived around 4:30, a little before sunset, this was crystal clear water. You could see to the bottom. I had dinner right at the bottom of this little path and filled up my water. There were some boulders there. Those are now completely underwater. I would guess probably under at least 2 feet of water. So Sipsey is beautiful as always, but it is wilderness. Now at the Borden Creek trailhead. There's actually one of the few bridges in the wilderness area is right behind me. So after backtracking this morning and now have taken 224 to reach 204. Yeah, so this is the way I'm gonna go, and hopefully I can maybe camp at Big Tree or something tonight. Yeah, now I'm getting into the good stuff. This is what Sipsey's all about. Waterfalls, big cliffs. Yeah. Oh yeah. And lots of hemlock. Here I am at the other end of the 204. So I've just met up with the 209, one of the most popular trails in the Sipsey Wilderness area, probably the most popular, and that is because it's right here at the Sipsey Fork, what the wilderness area is named for. So it's a beautiful area. Come check it out. So I am getting ready to pack up camp after my second night in the woods. It's not as cold as I'm making it look. I'm just being a baby and don't want to get out of my sleeping bag yet. But I've changed into all of my clothes for the day. I'll strip some layers before I actually start hiking, but while I'm packing up camp, it's just nice to have a little extra warmth. And caught a couple of glimpses of what seems like sunshine, which I'm really excited about because I haven't seen that in a couple of days. So I'm excited about a good day of hiking, exploring some of the little slack canyons off of the 209 trail. My first stop today is going to be Big Tree, which is the largest yellow poplar in the state of Alabama, or tulip tree as it's also known. I've been there before, but it's grown since I was last there, so can't wait to see it. So Big Tree is back behind me. There's literally not a way I can get the whole thing in the video at once. I tried taking pictures. It's just too tall. My guess is it's around 200 feet tall. I don't know exactly. But yeah, I'm gonna go get a little closer and check out the couple of waterfalls that are back here. It's one of the largest trees in the eastern U.S. It's the largest tree in Alabama, and it is the champion tree of yellow poplar or tulip poplars, which means it's the largest tree of that species in the state. It even makes this waterfall back there, which is probably like 100-foot tall waterfall. Not even look as big. And then there's another waterfall. That's a different one. So there's one. And then there's the other one. So it's a pretty sweet spot to come check out. All of the Sipsey Wilderness is. So make a weekend trip or a weekday trip like I'm doing. It's a lot less crowded during the week than on the weekends, especially popular sites like this, but well worth it whenever you're able to come, any season. You hear that waterfall? No, not that little guy. Where is it? Let's go see. What? Hidden Falls. So before I left, I told my mom and my husband and my sister that I wasn't going to go off trail. Going off trail is kind of what I do. And I told my dad I wouldn't climb any rocks. I kind of like climbing rocks. I just really wanted to see where the top of this little waterfall was. So that Hidden Falls, this is it. There's not much to it. So I kind of had to go off trail and climb some rocks to get here. But I've got a nice view. I was careful. Okay. this was recent. A blue jay lost his life. I've never come across one this soon after it was killed. Like, my guess is there is a Cooper's hawk or a sharp-shinned hawk somewhere nearby enjoying its meal. In Sipsey. So as you can see, I'm hiking with my tea this morning. It's a beautiful day, overcast but not too cold, so I'm having a great time on my last day out here at Sipsey, and so fun to stumble upon this awesome waterfall. Okay, so behind me is not the Sipsey Fork. The Sipsey Fork's out there. This is where Borden Creek comes into the Sipsey Fork, and this is where the 209 trail ends, and just across the way is where the 200 trail picks up. So technically that is where I'm supposed to go. This is what I'm saying, this is the trail. If it wasn't the middle of winter and we hadn't had torrential rains twice since I've been out here, then that is the way that I would go. For my own safety, and just because there's a nice social trail back here that runs opposite the 200 trail along Borden Creek. That's the way that I'm going to go, because I know when I get to the end of this trail, I can cross back over the same road bridge that I crossed over a couple of days ago. So with Leave No Trace, better to stay on designated trails. When you're following a social trail, it's going to take a little longer because it meanders a lot more around debris and stuff that isn't cleared out and maintained, but also, or you'll just have to climb over those things. But also, it's just, good Leave No Trace. Of course, in this circumstance, I chose my health and safety over Leave No Trace, and as I'm off trail, I'm still continuing to follow Leave No Trace practices. And anytime you're traveling in the wilderness or even just on front country trails, it's really important to be familiar with Leave No Trace so that you're protecting yourself and the environment every time you adventure outdoors. Back. Oh, I think the rain maybe is starting again. Fingers crossed it'll hold out. Hey, it's another waterfall. If I took videos and pictures of every waterfall, I would never get out of here, and I would definitely run out of storage on my phone. It is fantastic. If you love waterfalls, you should definitely check out the Sipsey Wilderness. It's not for the faint of heart. You really need to, know what to do out here. But Butterfly Outdoors can teach you those skills that you need. We can't lead trips inside the wilderness area just because that goes against regulations and kind of the whole concept of why we need wilderness. But I can definitely get you prepared to take your own adventure into the wilderness. Caw-caw! Caw-caw! So, got a nice echo here. Well, I am back at the bridge over Borden Creek. So I've made a big loop inside of the Sipsey the last few days. Not exactly sure how many miles I put in, and I know a lot of it was kind of backtracking anyway. But yeah, I had a great time. You can see Borden Creek has mostly resumed its emerald color. When I went over this bridge a few days ago, it was all muddy and brown. So yeah, so I had a great time. I'll try and compile all my videos together and share my experience. Got lots of photos, so it'll probably be a long compilation, but I've had a wonderful time. Glad to get to share a piece of the Sipsey with you, and looking forward to helping you prepare for whatever adventure you have ahead.